Hi there. Today I'm going to show you how I convert American Top 40 mono programs into stereo. Of course, when the show debuted in July of 1970, there was no need for the show to be in stereo. That's because everybody that ever was being broadcast on AM radio. Well, with the rebroadcasts of original shows, it's nice to have those shows in stereo now. So this is how I get that done. So first off, here's Adobe Audition. This is my weapon of choice for getting this thing done. So what I have here, I've just pulled in a piece of audio. This is the first segment from the first hour of a show. I'm going to go ahead and bring this back over into the edit mode, and we'll just listen to this and see what this is all about.
Hello again, this is Casey Kasem. Welcome to American Top 40 and our countdown of this week's best-selling single records in the USA.
All right, so what I want to do here is I'm going to replace the theme song underneath Casey because that's in mono, and we've got a nice stereo version of it that we're going to replace it with. So come back over here to the multi-track mode. First off, I'm going to actually use the mono version of the theme to help with the extraction. We'll get the stereo done here in just a second. So what I need to do is I need to line these two pieces of audio up and sync them in very close synchronization. As a matter of fact, the closer, the better. So I have zoomed way in on this. And so if I was to play this piece of audio right here, that's it. You can barely hear it. All right. So looking at the waveforms here, I can see here's this nice little spike up, down, and I've got the same thing down here. So I'm going to go ahead and line these up like that. Then I'm going to come up here and insert a marker. Okay. From that point, I'm just going to go ahead and not zoom all the way out like I just did, hit the wrong key. I'm going to go ahead and delete everything over to the left-hand side of that. So they're still lined up at this point. Now I need to find a point on the other end where I can line them up. Now this is going to be a little bit more challenging because I can't really see here the theme song underneath Casey's talking. So what I'm going to need to do again is come back over to the regular just two-track view.
American Top 40 this week, so let's get it right on. Number 4. 4 new songs on American Top 40 this week, so let's get it right on.
What I'm going to listen to is for something in the theme song that I can recognize.
In the USA. 4 new songs on American Top 40 this week.
All right, so right here underneath Casey, he says this week, and if you listen to the theme song, you can hear the melody line go da-da-da-da.
American Top 40 this week, so.
All right.
40 this week.
So that's right there. And now I'm going to come over here to the spectral view, since I've kind of found out where it is, but if I'm looking, it's right here. This little thing here.
40 this week. 40 this week.
Just by looking at the spectrograph. It takes a while to learn how to interpret this, but that's where that is. So again, I'm going to come up and I'm going to insert a marker here. So now I've got a mark in this mono piece of audio that I can reference when I go try to compare it against this thing. So now I'm going to open up the mono version of the theme song, and I'm going to look for the same audio melody. And right there it is. And again, I can see with the spectrograph that, okay, it's right there. So again, I'm going to come up and put a mark in there. So now I've got the marker. And they're close. If you look here, here's the marker that I had in the mono piece with Casey. Here's the marker that I had in the theme song. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom way in on this marker. Make sure that my cursor's sitting right on top of it. I'm going to highlight to the right, and I'm going to get rid of everything off to the right. Next thing is I'm going to go back to where this marker was in the original theme, or with the original piece of audio, and I'm going to just mark it there. Move the cursor there, and I'm going to put a marker. Now I need to speed up this theme song so that it matches what's going on up here underneath Casey. In Adobe Audition, I can do that by coming down here, grab the lower right-hand corner, and drag. And that compresses or speeds up the audio. It'd be kind of like taking a 45 RPM record and playing it at, 45 and a half or something like that. So now, theoretically, the original theme here, the mono one, and then the theme that's contained in the show with Casey underneath it are lined up in perfect synchronization. Okay, they are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and drag this theme song out to where Casey stops talking. I'm going to solo this track out so I can see where that is at.
Let's get it right on.
All right, and right there is a jingle. So, close enough, okay? I'm not going to be using all of that anyways. So now I've got this, and I'm going to just highlight the places where Casey is talking.
Hello again, this is Casey. Welcome.
All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mix this down to a file. Now I normally don't use it this way. I've got a shortcut for that. Now mix down to new file. Master output for selected range in stereo. I've got a shortcut for that, but in Adobe Audition, that's what you're doing. All right, so now we're looking at a single file of what we had in the multi-track. So if I come over here to the left track,
Hello again, this is Casey.
there's Casey, there's the theme song. Now I know just by looking at this and having done this for a lot of years, the theme song is too hot. I'm gonna have to turn that volume down. So I'll just turn that down a little bit.
Hello again.
And I also know that when they produced this, the theme song was hotter here, and they turned it down as Casey started talking. So what I'm going to do conversely over here is to make up for that, I'm going to go ahead and apply an envelope to the amplitude and turn that up a little bit so that I can just kind of goose it a little bit underneath Casey's voice. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and save this out. What I call this is AT40 Hour 1, Theme 1 in. It's already there because I'd already had done this once before in another iteration of this video, so I'm just going to go ahead and save that out, overwrite it. And so now I've got that saved to the hard drive. Now we go use another program. This program is basically used for forensics. It's kind of not really meant for this purpose, but it serves its purpose very well. So I'm going to go ahead and pull in this piece of audio. Again, here's Casey and the theme song, and here's the theme song by itself. What it does is it treats this down here, this bottom line, as if it was noise, and then it's removing it from underneath Casey. This allows me to take out more of it or leave more of it in. So let's just start here at the bottom and listen to what we got.
Hello again, this is Casey Kasem. Welcome to American Top.
All right, you can still hear that some of the theme song is there, so I'm going to go ahead and bump this up a little bit.
Hello again, this is Casey Kasem. Welcome to American Top.
Now you might notice that there's some artifacts appearing. Casey sounds a little distorted. So you got to find a happy medium here. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this at 16, run the filter. And so now I've got that saved down here, the results down here. And if I do a Control S to save it, well, I'm going to save it here. It's being used by another process. No, that's not right. Okay, well, that's fine. Okay, so I'm just going to save this out. And of course, this program is being persnickety right now because I'm making a video. So let's try this again. Forensics, DSS. I'm going to pull this down to 16. Run the filter. There we go. Save. save it. Okay, done. All right. So come back over to the multi-track now, and I'm going to pull that piece of audio in and line it up with the piece that I had done originally. Now I can pretty much lose this thing up on the top because I don't need it anymore. And I'm going to look closely at this Casey.
Hello again. Hello.
And that's right where he starts talking, so I'm just going to trim that off, put a little quick fade in.
Hello again. This is...
Okay, so we're almost there. Now, what I need to do, this is the original theme song in all of its glory. But that's in mono. I have a nice stereo version of it right here. So I'm going to pull that down to another track. And I'm going to make sure that these two are running 100% in sync. Now these files are absolutely the same length. So I'm just going to go ahead and compress that. Now I can lose the mono version and we'll go back to the beginning. I'm going to open up this volume control here and just kind of pull this down just a little bit for now.
Hello again, this is Casey K.
All right, maybe didn't need to pull that down quite so much. All right, so I'm going to just go ahead and give this just a little bit of a duck here. And then for the rest of his break, I'm just going to kind of have it turn down a little bit as we go on.
Hello again, this is Casey Kasem. Welcome to American Top 40 and our countdown of this week's best-selling single records in the USA.
Okay, and so now we've got his talk and the stereo theme mixed together. So I'm going to go ahead and mute these just temporarily because on to the next piece, which should be the number 40 jingle.
Right on. Number 40.
All right, that happens right about there, and as it turns out, I do have a copy of this. I have to go find it. Here's that jingle. Pull that over, just kind of line this up. Now I don't go to the trouble of extracting the audio for this one. Don't need to, it's okay. So there we go, I've got that there, and I'm just going to pull this down to another track and make sure that it's lined up where I had it before. Okay? Get rid of the mono version. And
this week, so let's get it right on. Number 40.
Well, first off, yes, I got to lose the theme song. Get rid of that. And I'm going to lose the jingle from the original piece of mono audio.
Let's get it right on. Number 40.
Okay. Now again, I'm going to go ahead and mute that jingle. Now, the song that Casey's playing here is The Fifth Dimension, Last Night I Didn't Get to Sleep at All. So, Fifth, Last Night, FLAC. Got a copy of that there. It should have pulled it in. There it is. Okay. So now I got to do the exact same thing with this that I did with the theme song. I got to line these up. So I'm going to go ahead and just visually eyeball these. You can see here's a beat, more beats here.
Junior, did you say the fifth dimension? You're right.
Okay. So again, I'm going to zoom way in. Way in. And I'm going to look for something that's absolutely unique between these two. And if you look right here, here's a little wave in the wave in the waveform, and right here's the exact same thing. So again, I'm going to go ahead, put my cursor there, line that up, and now I'm going to insert another mark, and I'll do the same thing that I did with the theme song and lose the complete intro for the song. Now I need to go to the other end because my copy of the song and the copy that they used didn't quite run at the same speed. So again, I'm going to go ahead and try to find something here that I can identify with my eyeball. Okay, like that beat right there, and that's going to line up with this one. So now again, I need to kind of just compress this down. Let it do its thing. Now they're together. They're close. They're not exactly right. Obviously, if I zoom in further, I can see that they ain't quite in line. That's okay. So I'm going to come down here, and again, I'm going to zoom in as close as I can to get these in line. Okay, that looks good to me. Insert a marker. Get rid of the tail end of the song, and then I'm going to go ahead and jump back to the beginning, or jump back to where that first marker was at the beginning of the song, because I moved the song in time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this back over and let it recompress it again, and it will stretch it to the exact length that I need it to be. Okay, so those are lined up. Last night I didn't. All right. So I'm going to go back and restore the intro. And again, I'm just going to go ahead and highlight these two segments and mix these down to a single file. Okay, levels look all right. So now I'm going to go ahead and call this AT40 fifth, and this is my own naming convention. If you worked for Mediabase, you know what I'm going for, but if you didn't, then it's going to be a little weird. So it's the first four characters of the artist's name, so fifth, 5th space, last night I didn't. That's just the way it is for me. It's my shorthand. And then I'm going to put the letter I for in. Obviously, if it was the outro, we'll do O. All right, so that's saved. So now we're going to come back over here to the thing that does the magic. I'm going to go ahead and open that up.
At number 40, Marilyn McCoo, Florence LaRue, Lamont McLemore, Ron Townsend.
All right, so again, you can still hear a bit of the song, although it's not too much. So I'm going to, but in this case, I'm going to go ahead and bump that up just a little bit. Run it. Save that out. Minimize this. I don't need it anymore. Come back over to the multi-track. Grab that piece that I just saved out. It's over here. And again, I'm going to line that up with where it was. And I'll get rid of that because I don't need it. I'm also going to lock the song here in time so that I can't move it left or right in time. Let me listen to this Casey piece because I think I got a piece, the number 40 jingle right here.
At number...
I do. I want to get rid of that. So I want him starting with the word at.
At number 40.
Okay.
Mention, you're right.
So here's the tail end of his break. I'm going to kind of pull that in a little bit. Put just a little quick fade down on that.
You're right.
And boom, there we go. We've got the intro for this song. Now for the outro, we do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and listen to Casey.
The first of 4 new songs in American Top 40, The Fifth Dimension, sing Last Night I Didn't Get...
All right. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out.
Casey.
And that's a jingle there, so I know that's where the song ends. And again, same thing. Highlight that. Save it out. I'm going to save this to the hard drive. I'm going to use the same naming, obviously, except it'll have an O on the tail end of it for out. We go back to this other piece of software. Open. Here's that.
The first of 4 new songs in American Top 40, The Fifth Dimension, sing Last Night I Didn't Get to...
Okay. Save that out. Close that. Don't need it. Minimize that program. Back over to the multi-track. Here's that piece that we just saved. Put that there. Again, we're going to trim off the front end of Casey. Oops. The front end of Casey here.
The first of 4 new...
Okay. And so now, this song, now I'm going to pull this down into a track that's going to just be in full-blown stereo. So now, oh, and we can pull this jingle down here too.
Didn't get to sleep at all.
Casey's Coast to Coast.
And just so that we know, I've also got these jingles. Jingles, there they are. Not sure.
Casey's.
Nope, not that one.
Casey's Coast.
Is that the right one?
Didn't get to sleep at all.
Casey. Casey.
Nope.
Casey's Coast.
There, that's the one that I'm looking for. All right, so I'm just going to insert that over here into my project so that I've got a good clean version of that jingle. Line those up.
At all.
Casey.
Get rid of the jingle because, well, I just like a nice clean copy of it.
To sleep at all.
Casey.
Turn that up a bit.
Sleep at all.
Casey's Coast.
That's in mono originally. A stereo version of these have never surfaced.
I didn't get to sleep at all.
Casey's Coast.
So, all right. So now, there you go. You've got the first segment of this show, which just happened to only have one song in it. And this is what it sounds like.
Hello again, this is Casey Kasem. Welcome to American Top 40 and our countdown of this week's best-selling single records in the USA. 4 new songs on American Top 40 this week, so let's get it right on.
Number 40.
At number 40, Marilyn McCool, Florence LaRue, Lamont McLemore, Ron Townsend, Billy Davis Jr. Did you say the Fifth Dimension? You're right.
All right, so what I'm thinking here is that I need to turn this intro up a little bit.
Number 40.
At number 40, Marilyn McCool, Florence LaRue, Lamont McLemore, Ron Townsend, Billy Davis Jr. Did you say the Fifth Dimension? You're right.
Maybe, okay, 40B. And then at the end of Casey's break, we just kind of juice it just a little bit.
Fifth Dimension? You're right.
Old DJ trick there.
Fifth Dimension? You're right.
Okay. The only other thing that I noticed as well is that it seems that the theme song here might just be a little too loud. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of knock that down just a little bit.
Hello again, this is Casey Kasem. Welcome to American Top 40 and our countdown.
So, we'll come back here.
The first of 4 new songs on American Top 40, The Fifth Dimension, sing Last Night I Didn't Get to Sleep at All.
Casey's Coast to Coast.
Just put a nice little fade out here to remove some of the hiss at the tail end of the jingle.
To Coast.
And we're done. And that is how I do the mono to stereo conversion. Now, that obviously that gets repeated over and over and over again for all 40 songs in the countdown. I hope that you've enjoyed this. I know it was a bit long, but that's what it takes to get the show converted from mono to stereo. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And as always, keep your feet in the ground and keep reaching for the stars.